Absolutely love that kid. Okay, this is the bracket for men's quarterfinals. We've got that rage battle up at the top there. Ruka Hirano just missed out on the Olympic podium. Melville Ives didn't get a chance to claim back-to-back triples. He's got those in his arsenal. Then it's Chase Blackwell going up against the #1 seed, Yuto, Totsuka. And then straight off the back of that, the All-American battle, Lucas Foster, Jake Pates, then Pat Burgener, Ryusei, Yamada. So 4 mouth-watering matchups, but kicking off with this one, and it promises to be something special. These two have both got so much to offer, T-Bird.
I mean, this is a dream matchup here in run #1. You see Cam Melville Ives. This kid is an absolute force. He's like a little Jack Russell Terrier strapped into a snowboard, just full foot to the gas all the time.
And he is like a dog with a bone. Once he gets in this pipe, he will not let a run go. If you've got any interest in the Premier League as well, these two have got a little bit of an internal grudge match. Cam Melville Ives, a Liverpool fan, Ruka Hirano, a mad Man City fan. So they'll definitely be playing for bragging rights on that front as well. Cam Melville Ives going to drop first. Now, it looks like he's going to drop in on Ryder's right-hand wall as well. Sets him up for that cab triple 14.
It certainly does. And here's the big thing, though, is, and I know Cam Melville Ives knows this, but we were saying it in the women's first heat. This is a marathon, not a sprint. So dropping in switch. There is the switch triple 14.
On a slushy wall.
Into the alley-oop double backside rodeo. Cam Melville Ives back 12. Come on, Cam. And the front 14. You gotta be kidding me.
2 14s to open us up. That huge alley-oop, second hit, and the triple to open.
Look at the amplitude on the run as well. Cam Melville Ives going absolutely monster out of the pipe. 15-foot highest air, 13.5 feet, all the way down the pipe. As we take a look at this first trick, the triple 1440 gets the grab, the landing, going massive. Watch how long he grabs it, gets the double grab. So that's kind of the cheat code for the judges right there, not tucking his hand underneath his knee. He's getting the double grab, but that gives him the ball initiative of being able to spin that fast.
That back double 12 into the, so 2 triples. T-Bird actually wrote something down on a piece of paper and then showed it to me, and I can't say it out loud, but it does describe what we've just seen.
Absolutely incredible. Has anyone told Cam this is quarterfinals?
Well, he's up against Ruka Hirano. Every single one of these matchups is a final. There's nowhere to hide when you're going up against this kid. And Ruka, like Cam's got an axe to grind off the back of the Olympics, Ruka's is even more. This kid he was inconsolable at being left off the podium a week ago in Italy. He wants revenge here, and he is going to come out swinging. Okay, #3 seed, Ruka Hirano. He's just seen Cam Melville Ives lay down the biggest marker to open up men's quarterfinals here at Buttermilk Mountain for Snow League.
Coming in switch. Switch backside double 10. Into the backside 1260. Frontside 1440. And there's the cab triple cork 14, and he knows he needed to put that one down. I will say, just judging off what I saw, I think Cam even had it on the amplitude there.
Cam did have him on the amplitude. Both had very similar execution, riding across the pipe, so smooth, so flat. This one, first trick here, the switch double 10. Backside, look, he gets the grab, tweaks it out, tucks the knee.
I don't know, I know we shouldn't judge it on what you can do, it is on what you do, but the judges know he's got a switch back 14 to open there. Cam left nothing on the table. Ruka's held back slightly here, and it's his strong wall.
Yeah, and that's one of the things you're looking at too, the risk at the top of that pipe. Cam going with the triple, as we see the triple here, taking that same strategy, getting the double grab.
But combo is a category. It's a criteria for the judges here. Those back-to-back 14s are huge for him. They could have worked really hard.
Back-to-back 14s could have worked really well for him. The thing that Cam has over him is he goes a backside 1260 double into the frontside triple 14. So a backside spin to a frontside spin. It's got the combo, but also the variety there.
He's not off his toes down the pipe. So 90 for Cam Melville Ives, 40.7 for Ruka Hirano. The young Kiwi in the driving seat in the first of our quarterfinals. Take a breath, gentlemen. This is getting intense already. Okay, Chase Blackwell going up against our current standings leader, Yuto Totsuka. So Yuto's 1-1, comes second in 1. His record is outstanding, but how is he going to cope with the emotional come down from that gold medal at the Olympic Games just over a week ago in Italy? Chase Blackwell has got to give it absolutely everything here. There is nowhere to hide from for the kid from Breckenridge.
Chase Blackwell dropping in switch, huge ollie into the pipe there. Switch double back 12, unfortunately not quite able to get it around. What do you think went wrong there, Connor?
It looks like it was a similar issue he was having during qualifier. He just doesn't get quite the snap in the rotation. He's got to get the grab early to initiate that spin, and it just doesn't look like he was able to get it. Getting some more tricks down here. That's a solid thing. He doesn't know what Yuto's going to do. If Yuto goes down, he could still get more points by doing more tricks farther down in the pipe.
Well, you mentioned it, Connor. We saw him drop this trick, the switchback 12, in his first run of qualifying. Second run, he dialed this down to a 10.
See how he's not able to initiate the grab right off the bat. He's not able to keep that spin going, and you see just a little under-rotated, not able to get the body above the board and ride down into the transition.
Okay. I mean, right now, Chase Blackwell looks like a wounded gazelle on the savannah, doesn't he? And Yuto Totsuka is one of the big five coming to get him.
Yeah, absolutely. And right now, I think after that first heat there between Cam Melville, Ives, and Ruka Hirano, I kind of think Yuto was like, okay, it's time to go. He might be able to kind of hit the brake a little bit, cruise through this run, put one to his feet, win this run, and then move on to the next.
And this is where that strategy plays in. Is he going to drop in on his weaker wall, knowing that he's got the second run on his stronger side?
We will find out here. Yuto Totsuka dropping in switch. And he's going cab, double cork 1080. Into the front side double cork 1080. Believe it or not, yes, this is taking it a little easy for Yuto Totsuka. Switch, alley-oop, backside rodeo. Into the switch, backside 1080.
And the back nine to finish.
There you go.
That was absolute, that was almost, with all due respect to Chase Blackwell, that was another practice run for
Absolutely,
Yuto.
100%. Yeah, Yuto Totsuka, he's a veteran at this point. The current king, he knows what he's doing. He knows what needs to be done, and he's just going to try to move on to that second run.
It's the benefit of dropping second as well. He saw Chase fall, and now Yuto gets a chance to check out and see what that sunny wall is like, how slushy it is. When he goes for the bigger tricks, how much pop does he need? Very consistent run, but like we were saying, taking it easy, using the strategy. It's a long day. He wants to stay fresh all the way through.
Yeah, if every matchup goes the distance, it could be 11 runs. So, like, that is so much more pipe riding than anyone does normally. Very, very clever from Yuto Totsuka. Just cruising through this one, getting the first matchup under his belt. So, we don't need the scores here to tell us that Yuto will be in the lead. Chase bowing down to him. 16.7, plays 70.5. Yuto getting an easy ride there. Hopefully Chase can push him a little harder on that second run. Okay, now back up to the top, and it's our only two goofy footers, and they're going head to head. I love that they've been sorted out like this. Complete accident, but All-American battle. Jake Pates having an incredible, I would call it a honeymoon season, but after a four, it's kind of like a second marriage, isn't it?
I mean, it's one of the coolest stories in snowboarding currently. He stepped away at 22 years old, took a couple years off, dealt with a couple things, and now he's back. And quite frankly, I think Jake Pates is riding free right now. He's in a really good headspace. He's kind of playing with house money, and that makes him so dangerous.
So an 8th at the Olympics, qualified in 12th place, had a couple of really big runs, and he's got something here. He got an 89. He did come through the last chance qualifier, but he was only a point off the top seeds. So he's right there.
Looking like he's going switch back double 10 right there. Into the backside double 12. Jake Pates is putting it together. Cab double cork 10. Oh yeah, he is flowing right now. One thing that's so noticeable about Jake and how he's been riding lately is his amplitude remains the same on every single hit. That's a testament to his edge work.
Very much so, and it is one of those things that will always, we're gonna keep saying amplitude, amplitude, amplitude. It makes every trick more difficult. And as we watch Jake drop in here to the switch backside 1080, pops it, gets the grab all the way through. And
I love the rotation on it, too.
Check out the blind landing right here.
Beautiful work. And the amplitude comes from the fact that, yeah, you've got the gymnastic ability for all of the athletes here to get these tricks down. Oh, beautiful, going weddle to tail, mute to tail.
Yeah, and that's one of the things judges are looking for. If you're able to get the double grab, you've got the execution of that spin and rotation on lock. Jake coming through with the mute to tail, and then we see the 1260 down here at the bottom.
He's got a big old handful of quad there. Like, he is holding himself in, and for everything that double grab's done further up, the body grab a bit lower down just to hold himself together there might count against him.
They'll usually compare that to another backside or frontside 1260 if the other rider has a quiet arm and gets the grab compared to Jake tucking it. That's where the differentiation will happen.
Okay, Lucas Foster. This guy, one of the first, well, the first to land a double alley-oop McTwist in the pipe in Mount Hood in 2022, unveiled it in competition in 23. Sets this off beautifully.
Cab double cork 1080 into the front side 12.
Little bit loose there.
Backside 9 into the alley-oop double McTwist. That is his signature move. He just lands a little bit low.
How hard does that work with the judges, Connor, when you've got something that no one else has got like that?
That really adds to the progression and variety of it. Like, so it's such a difficult trick that he is the only one to be able to do it. Alley-oop McTwist, we've seen a couple alley-oop rodeos, but when you're doing a trick, that's what sticks out in the judge's mind. And if you're able to land it, we see here, double McTwist going up the pipe. He just pops a little too hard, and that's the hardest part about that trick, getting it to the transition.
And the consequence is right here, going completely blind 15 feet out of a half pipe and just kind of hoping you're in the right spot. Unfortunately, Lucas Foster landed just a little too low.
It's that second cork as you're coming back into the transition. You look at that, Jake Pate celebrating it as well.
Dude, that was big. You sent that like 15 plus. Trying, bro. That was savage.
Love to see a bit of camaraderie down there between Pates and Foster. 71.5, no surprises. Jake Pates takes the first matchup. The pressure is on Lucas Foster for the second round as we go back to the top for the fourth and final of our quarters. Pat Burgener, the Swiss, who took his mother's nationality ahead of the Olympics. He's now Brazilian, going up against one of the most exciting young talents in halfpipe snowboarding right now, Ryusei Yamada. So Pat Burgener going to drop first. He came through in fourth position in the last chance qualifier. So the odds are stacked in Ryusei's favor at the moment, but Pat Burgener, one of the most experienced men in the field, he will box clever.
Yeah, Pat Burgener definitely has his work cut out for him. He's got to go big, and he's got to mix up those grabs. Switch backside double cork 1080 into the double Michael Chuck. Keeping really good speed, going big. Frontside double cork 10 into the cab double 10. Pat Burgener putting together a run. There's the frontside 12. He knows it. Wow.
Pat Burgener on a roll with that one. As we see, he adds the variety into the run. As you see at the top, the switch backside spin, lands forward into the double Michael Chuck. It's an axis that we're not seeing out of too many riders. Chase Josie, another rider that was doing it in qualifiers, not here, but it's a hard axis going backside rodeo off that heel side wall.
And how much do the judges appreciate kind of seeing some new tricks, right? Mixing it up a little bit and adding more variety to your run from what the other athletes are doing.
Yeah, switching it up and doing those different axes are one of the things that the judges are looking for that adds to your variety, not only spinning in different directions, but changing the axis and the way you spin.
Critically as well, you mentioned it earlier, Connor, like riding quietly through the pipe, that he was so settled on his board. The edges were coming in early. He was driving through the pipe. Really, really beautiful riding. One of the most, we said it, one of the most experienced riders in the field, pioneered switch backside in the pipe, or big switch backside spins. Guillaume Morissette, probably one of the first guys to actually dusted off. But back up at the top, the turn of this kid. First of all, he fought his way onto that incredibly competitive Japanese Olympic pipe team. But then he delivered against the seeding a bronze medal. And he comes in here on a wave of success. Whether he can hold those emotions down and go back to business as usual, we're about to find out.
Ryusei Yamada coming in switch. Will it be the cab triple? It will be the cab double 10. Into the front side 1260. Huge McTwist, 15 feet out. Into the front side 14. And the switch alley-oop double backside rodeo. Ryusei Yamada is a firecracker.
Well, to start with, like, screenshot that McTwist and hang that in the Louvre. That was absolutely beautiful.
A la Danny Davis or Terry Hawkinson on that McTwist, almost 14 feet out of the pipe, but that is one of the most difficult runs we have seen so far. Cam Melville Ives a little bit more with the 2 triples, but just the way that these tricks are done, the 14s, the grabs, the tweaks, Ryusei Yamada putting down just an amazing run. There's that McTwist, and to be able to throw something so stylish, not very difficult as far as rotation, but the amplitude he does that makes that trick very difficult. Gets the chicken wing and able to put it back down. 15-3 out of the pipe.
So that's the biggest air we've seen so far in these quarterfinals from the men.
And another incredibly difficult trick right there, the switch backside alley-oop double rodeo 9, putting it to his feet. Such a hard trick to land.
I mean, the variety is unparalleled in the tricks that Ryusei just did in his run.
70.5 for Pat Burgener, 85 for Ryusei Yamada. So Pat Burgener with a valiant effort, but there's nothing he can do to stop the kid who has broken the mold of Japanese pipe riding. Ryusei Yamada at the moment coming out of qualifying as the #1 seed has the edge there. So we go back up to the top of the draw. Cam Melville Ives in the driving seat going up against Ruka Hirano. Cast your mind back to the start of this show. If you missed it, then I'll fill you in. Shaun White picked Cam Melville Ives as his guy for the day. So Gren Diesel had got Jake Pates, but I think Cam Melville Ives, he's got that power. The kid out of Wanaka, he can ride absolutely anything. Put him in slopestyle, big air, bank slalom, he will excel. But pipe is his chosen discipline.
Ed, you know Cam quite well. Does he have a favored wall to drop in on, front side or backside?
No. No, this kid is ambi-stanced and ambi-walled. I don't know if that's even a term. We're going to have to come up with a word for it because it is in Snow League now. So he's got that 93. His twin brother, Finn, is current half-pipe world champion in free ski, and he was X Games gold medalist. Pipe DNA runs deep with these two.
And if you're Cam Melville Ives, knowing that Ruka Hirano dropped second, you are foot to the gas right now, dropping in on his front side wall. Alley-oop double backside rodeo.
What a trick to kick off with.
Into the backside 12.
We might get back to back triples.
14.
That's what he's going to try and do there. He's going to link back-to-back triples there.
So still continuing on, even though he sat down on that, we saw the switch backside alley-oop double rodeo as well down at the bottom. So just a little bit of a pretty big instability there on the triple cork, but the combination of that run to keep speed going from a double alley-oop rodeo into the backside 1260, grabbing tail the whole time, pretty incredible ride.
However,
from Cam.
Connor, did you hear the creak? Because that's the door being left open for Ruka Hirano at the moment, and that is a terrifying proposition.
Look at this.
That is probably one of the most difficult backside 1260s you will see. Grabbing tail and keeping that rotation is so hard. There you see the double grab on the triple.
Cam is an Energizer bunny. He doesn't have an off switch. This kid just wants to send all day. And we saw it in that first run. He's not warming up anywhere. He just wants to put Ruka under as much pressure as possible.
But in this Snow League format, sometimes that can bite you a little bit, right? Because it's a lot of snowboarding. If you make it all the way to finals, especially if you throw in a couple tie breaks, it's a lot of runs.
Honestly, this kid's a human power station. He's just going to run all day. But what does Ruka Hirano do now? Does he try and step up and get something down and get his brain in the game? Because he's going to have to go to 3, even if he makes this. Or does he back off a little bit and try and warm up?
Well, it was only really kind of a butt check there from Cam. So Ruka's going to have to put down a very solid run to get there in general. He's got the difficulty in it, just a little bit of an instability. Ruka's going to have to do a pretty difficult run and execute it really well.
Okay, and like Cam, it's his weaker side.
Backside 900 into the front side 14. Back 9 to front 14 into the cab double 1080.
Double 12.
Was he going for it?
I think he was going.
He was caught in 2 minds.
I thought it was a
14.
12, but certainly the body position as he came in looked 14.
I need to see the replay on it because I thought he was going to keep it at 12. He went 14, and now it gets interesting.
This is going to take a while for the judges to dissect this run for sure, because both of them have 4 very solid tricks, but both of them fell on 14s. Small, slight butt checks, but both of them having pretty heavy instabilities on those 14s.
I think he was just going 12 and unfortunately kind of clipped the deck of the pipe.
Tiny over rotation.
This might be where Cam's backside 1260 with that tail grab could be the thing that pushes him up.
Ruka went so light on the first hit. A back 9 first hit. To me, that, like, there it is, 56 for Cam Melville Ives. He does it in 2, and that saves him a tie-break 3rd round, and that could be critical in once we get to those final rounds. Whew. Okay, another heated battle up there. Shaun White's pick goes through to the semi-finals. These are the overall championship standings at the moment. Yuto Totsuka on 185, 3 points ahead of Ayumu Hirano. Qualifying positions separating those two because they both have a win. Oh, Ayumu has a 3rd there as well. But with Ayumu out in qualifying here, Yuto has a chance to really make some hay. Now it is the turn of Yuto to drop first. The luxury of going second behind Chase Blackwell, but he needs to set a marker here.
That's the thing. He's currently sitting on a first run score of 70.5. He put down a pretty mellow run because he saw Chase Blackwell fall. Now that he's dropping first, you got to go. It's showtime.
Yeah, we're about to see the decisive blow, you think. Warms up. Look like a wrestler on the ropes there.
First hit always sets the tone for Yuto. Frontside 1440 into the switch alley-oop backside rodeo.
Glorious.
And there's the switch double backside 1080 into the backside 900. What will the final hit be? The frontside 12.
So a few tricks in there that were a little lighter than what we're used to seeing from Yuto Totsuka, but all of those mellower tricks, the switch backside alley-oop rodeo, a thing of beauty, going absolutely sky high, getting that switch nose grab. Here's a look at the 14.
That was massive.
And the moment he's got that down, he knows that he's put something that Chase can't chase, for want of a better word. But as you said, Connor, the execution is perfect everywhere else.
Everywhere else, you see him grab the grabs all the way through, lands high in the transition, straight to his other edge. Comes down a little bit low here on the frontside 12, but locks in the grab.
And
I say the execution's perfect. Big old hand. Oh, no, I thought it was handful of toe there.
I would have to imagine, right, if you're Chase Blackwell right now, you're just kind of doing mental math. Yuto's first run, 70.5. You're assuming it's going to be higher than that. So just kind of napkin math in your head. You're like, I need to get mid-80s to have a chance.
And this gives Chase a chance to kind of get that switch backside 12 he's been having issues with out of his head. Jumps to the other wall and see if he can put down a run here.
Well, the back 10 gave him an 80.75 in the last chance qualifier yesterday. So that's what he's aiming for. That was one of his better runs out of yesterday. Pressure is on for the kid from Breckenridge. clutch run for Chase Blackwell.
Go big or go home for Chase Blackwell. Backside 720 into the switch. Double backside 1080. He puts it down into the backside 900. Chase Blackwell is linking it together. Frontside double cork 1080 into the cab double 10. So a solid run from Chase Blackwell. This is one of those classic situations where all of it is going to come down to judges and really, really picking this apart, Connor.
Yeah, very similar amplitude, 14.4 highest, 12'10" on average. The one spot, execution, both riders, very perfect, being able to ride through everything. The biggest thing is going to be the difficulty of tricks. This 720 here, grabbed, well executed. It's a blind landing, which makes it a little bit more difficult, but does that compare to a 1440? Not really.
It's half. It's literally half the spin.
Yeah.
And no matter, and it's beautiful. Everyone loves it. It's one of the hardest tricks in the pipe, coming in, switch on a backside spin. But versus that huge 14 from Yuto, it's going to be a hard sell. And I always think of a pipe run like a song. You kind of want your stand up for the key change to be your last hit, where you get everyone roused. And both of them actually,
Oh, swipes at the grab there earlier. So a little bit of execution lower for Chase Blackwell. So I don't think this one's going to be enough to bump him above Yuto.
Yeah, Yuto finishing with that front 12, Chase with the back-to-back 10s. I don't think it's going to be a yawning gap.
So good. Olympic champ.
There we go. 70.5 versus 83.5. It's 2 for 2 for Yuto Totsuka.
Nice work. Good riding.
We have to say, as valiantly as Chase Blackwell fought in that head-to-head, it was cruise control for Yuto Totsuka. Very, very strategic win for him there. Now we come back to this all-American battle. Jake Pates versus Lucas Foster. Two goofy footers. Jake Pates, 27 years old, out of Boulder, Colorado.
Here it is, jersey 81, Jake Pates, all in big time into the double Michael Chuck. And a big old front side double 1080 into the cab double cork 1080. Jake Pates keeping his speed. Front side 12 into the backside double 12. Jake Pates leaving his mark. That was an insane run.
Such a good run there from Jake Pates. I don't think he's missed a run. I think he's had full pulls all the way through qualifiers, last chance qualifiers, and on these first two hits in the quarterfinals. So Jake Pates is feeling it right now. And this is where he switches it up to get the variety. This double Michael Chuck at the top. It's a double rodeo, gets the grab. Arm is way out there. Smooth across the flat bottom into the double 10, gets the double grab.
And there's something about Jake Pates' style. He's just so, you know, stock and squared up and done correctly. He's really aesthetically pleasing to watch him ride.
Check out this backside 1260. Starts it out with a mute, and as he gets to the second rotation, gets the tail grab, just pinching the end there.
It counts.
It's a tickle. I loved the access on that double Michael Chuck up at the top. As you said, Connor, like that trailing arm, he had all the confidence to just let it hang out. You can see him growing back into his riding as well with every comp that he does. So Lucas Foster, Jake Pates has applied the pressure, and now Foster has to answer. He's got some huge tricks in there. He's got to go back to the double McTwist.
Has to.
That's a statement ender for a run.
Especially after witnessing what Jake Pates just put down. Lucas Foster, can he do it? Force a third run. Frontside 1080 from Lucas Foster into the cab double 1080. It's going to be the frontside 12, standing that up. Backside double cork 12, he's not going to have the speed. sticking with an alley-oop Mick twist. So this is a tough one. Really good start to his run, but that last hit, Connor, might hurt him.
Yeah, the amplitude on that last hit will definitely hurt him. I think Jake is going to take this one, but Lucas coming in out swinging at the beginning. The one thing that I would take away from it, he goes front 10 tail grab, and then on the second hit on that same wall, he goes front 12 tail grab. So very similar, not much variety in there. So even if he was able to pull off the double Mick twist, the double 12 into the double Mick twist, and it still would have been a talking point.
He's lost his amplitude here, and the back double 12 just comes in a little bit squat, doesn't it? And he kills all of the speed here.
And he gets the grab on the binding edge rather than on the board. That might be the issue with why he wasn't able to get that rotation he's looking for. And then the grab on the alley-oop Mick twist, full boot grab. So I think Jake Pates will be moving on from this quarterfinal Heat 3.
So Jake Pates, I think we know which way this one is going to go. And it will be a semi-final performance for Jake Pates. He takes it 71.5 and 73.2 versus 34 and 58.5. It's a clean sweep. The kid out of Boulder, Colorado. Let's hear from Naoko now. She's with Jake Pates.
All right, Jake, congratulations. Moving on to the semifinal. You look like you're having so much fun. What's it like out there?
Yeah, it's a blast. Everybody's ripping. Sunny day. It's warm out. I'm wearing a sweatshirt, and we got a perfect half pipe. So, and everybody out here came to watch, cheering us on. So yeah, we're definitely having a good time. Thanks for coming out.
All right, good luck in the semis, Jake.
Thank you.
Jake Pates now going to sit tight and see who he faces in that semi-final. Will most likely be one of these two. Pat Burgener up there, the Brazilian, going up against the young gun, Ryusei Yamada. 12 years separate these two. They broke the mold in Japan when they built this one. So many different tricks, a really eclectic bag. You've got to say, dropping in on his less favored wall, we're probably going to see a couple of them. We'll reach into that really unorthodox list of tricks that he's got up his sleeve. Alongside the best goggle helmet fit you're going to see today.
Coming in switch here, Ryusei Yamada, switch McTwist. Come on, he knows how to get to my heart. Into the cab at double cork 1080. Into the front side 12. Oh! And then just a straight, beautiful McTwist from Ryusei Yamada. Is it the 14? He goes front side 14 and goes down. I don't know if he needed it, but he went for it.
We talked about that mirror image, the reflection in those tricks, Connor, and the two McTwists we see here. So
well done. Mirror images of each other, switch and forward. Just such a beautiful trick in the half pipe. Unfortunately, going down on the 1440, that will hurt the score. Like you were saying, T-Bird, I don't know if he needed it, but he still has Pat behind him, so he had to put an exclamation point on that final run.
And just judging by the eye, it looks like he just kind of ran out of half pipe there quite at the end. He pushed it a little too far to the floor.
Well, how many times have we seen this from the two 19-year-olds who are coming up at the moment? Melville Ives and Ryusei Yamada, both 19, and like Cam put up a meme at the end of the Olympics with Chief Brody from Jaws saying we're going to need a bigger pipe. That's what these kids need.
Those were the two examples I was just going to speak to in my head. I don't know if there are two more impressive riders that have kind of been on my radar since the start of Snow League than Cam and Ryusei.
Okay, Pat Burgener. He can see the doors ajar here. All he needs is a landed run. If he can do anything like he did in that first run, then he stands a chance here.
100%, absolutely. This is where strategy comes into play.
13th in Aspen last year, 13th in China. This is his first finals appearance at Snow League. And he's got a chink in Ryusei Yamada's armor here that he can exploit if he can land a run.
Breathe deep, stay on your feet, Pat. Pat Burgener coming in for hit one. Michael chucked a fakie there. into the switch backside 10. And the double Michael Chuck. Frontside 1080 from Pat Burgener. Can he stay on his feet? Cab, double cork 1080. He stays on his feet, but I'm still torn. Connor, can Ryusei advance with that fall, or do you think Pat took that one?
There is a very good chance that Ryusei or Yamada might squeak it out. Pat Burgener staying on his feet, but the difficulty of that run, he's got a unique trick at the top. He goes Michael Chuck pullback, but then he kind of loses amplitude down through the rest of the run after the switchback 10.
And the amplitude is lost because there's 2 execution errors, really big ones in here. So like one big execution error at the end, or a couple up at the top.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's going to affect the amplitude. Ryusei had amplitude all the way down through the pipe, all the way up top.
And you see Pat there is at that 11, 12 foot mark out of the pipe.
And it's only a tiny little hand, but you see the tail come out with a little speed check.
Landing a little low as well, which obviously affects amplitude in the rest of his run.
The flat front 10 there, getting the tail grab, but then, yeah, look at that double 10, just a little bit low. So this is one the judges are going to talk about. Does a bunch of little mistakes there.
And how many mute grabs? I think we had 3 through that whole run as well. So it's the easiest way to turbocharge a run, and it's an excuse for the judges. The moment that they see that, if you give them an excuse, they're going to jump on it. This could be tight, though. Definitely not a foregone conclusion either way. So it does go to Pat Burgener, 61.7 versus 50.2. Ryusei Yamada will get forced into a third and final run up against Pat Burgener. A lot of people probably would have seen this as the most perfunctory of all of the quarterfinals. Ryusei absolutely lionizing Pat Burgener, but a mistake there shows just how easy it is to drop these rounds.
Absolutely, yeah, and they're going to go up for their tiebreaker run as we're going to get some more snowboarding here. You know, a couple things coming out of it. Cam Melville, Ives, are you kidding me with that first run score of 90? Another thing that I just keep thinking, you know, you look at coming into today, the quarterfinals of the Snow League, you were lacking a couple of the American staples, most notably Alessandro Barbieri. Now looking at the results of what we've seen so far, Chase Blackwell is out. Jake Pates took out Lucas Foster. Jake Pates is the lone American moving on. Is he the face of U.S. halfpipe snowboarding after coming back after a 3-4 year break?
If he does, it's the ultimate fairy tale, isn't it?
100%.
There's hope for all of us old guys out there.
I don't know if 27's old, but yeah, Jake putting down an incredible run. T-Bird, you said it earlier too, just looks like he's riding free out there. He's really going out, just having fun. He said he's riding in his sweatshirt. It's a sunny day. The crowd's here. He's just getting hyped, and he's just been building. He hasn't fallen on a run throughout the entire competition. So,
and I think when we look back at yesterday's qualifiers, there's the main point to look at. You've got 6 Japanese riders in here. They're dominating pipe at the moment. But we lost 3 of the Japanese riders, including number 2 in the overall standings, Ayumu Hirano. I think that really put the cat amongst the pigeons, didn't it?
Absolutely, 100%. This is Ayumu Hirano right here, failing to qualify, going down on the cab, double cork 1080. That is a trick that he can land almost in his sleep. 14, I'm sorry, cab, double cork 1440. It was just very unlike Ayumu.
Unlike Ayumu, and then the strategy was kind of what blew me away on Ayumu's run as well. He saw that the score he had to beat was a 67.50, and going for a 14 is an unnecessary trick, and he's got the rest of the tricks in the bag. It was just kind of a question on what strategy Ayumu was going for.
Yeah,
I think we talked about this yesterday. There's potentially, what we're seeing here is someone like Ayumu. He's one of the older riders now. He's been forced in this Olympic cycle between Beijing and Italy to get that switch backside spin. You can't be an elite level pipe rider without all 4 directions of spin, and arguably a 5th axis, like an alley-oop or the chuck flips that we're seeing a lot of at the moment. But in learning that switch backside, he's got that switch back 12 nose grab, only guy with the nose grab on that. Has he sacrificed his complete control of that cab triple 14?
Ayumu has been so dominant for so long. Are we witnessing a passing of the baton to the Yutos of the world, to the Ryusei Yamadas of the world? I think we might be.
Yep. So back up at the top. They were the fourth and final matchup in our quarterfinals, so we had to take a quick break there while the sleds ferried them back up to the top. But Pat Burgener, against all of the odds, gets to push Ryusei Yamada to a third run down here. And, I mean, everyone is learning this format, but you ask any of these riders behind closed doors, and they will tell you it is strategic.
It absolutely is. It's going to flip now, and Ryusei Yamada actually has the advantage because Pat Burgener won the last heat, the last run.
Both riders also will be able to drop in on their favored side of the wall because it's the third run. They both dropped from both sides of the wall, third run, whichever you prefer.
So now Ryusei gets to sit back and see what Pat is going to do. Therefore, I think giving him a little bit of an advantage in this tiebreaker run.
Well, I remember 2016, Pat Burgener unveiling those switchback side 1080s. He'd worked on the switchback 9, but switchback side 1080s were completely new at that stage of pipe riding. And we've seen how hard it's worked for Scotty James. Had that dominant period between 2019 and 2021. Yuto Totsuka went out and learned that trick. He absolutely dominated, and we just talked about Ayumu with it. It's been that critical last rotation that everyone has been forced to master. Pat Burgener now is going to pull it out. His old faithful, old yeller for him. And he's going to have to work really hard because on his favored wall, Ryusei Yamada is going to send this third run.
Yeah, knowing what's dropping behind you, if you're Pat Burgener right now, you pull 0 punches. You go all out. This is a heavyweight brawl. You have 1 run to move on to semifinals. Pat Burgener coming in switch. Switch backside double 1080. Into the double Michael Chuck. Front side double cork 1080. Pat Burgener not playing around. Cab double cork 1080. What's it going to be? Is he going to go 12? Front side 1260 from Pat Burgener, and a nice aesthetic little spray there at the end. Great run from Pat Burgener. Bigger amplitude. You know, where's the variety at? Where's the execution? We're going to check that in the replay.
Yeah, for sure. He's got the switch backside 1080, so the switch backside spin, the double chuck, the rodeo off the heels, different axis added to it. So he's got the variety. He upped the amplitude. It looked like his execution was a little bit better than his first run, but pretty similar to his first run that Ryusei was able to beat. So we'll see what Ryusei comes swinging out with. Nice and quiet across the flat bottom. Double chuck, getting the double grab, holding on to that front side grab as he comes around. There's the double 10. So loses a little bit of amplitude there, but then the front side 12 holds the tail grab, squats it out at the bottom, landing a little bit low, but very solid execution there for Pat Burgener.
If Pat Burgener has put enough pressure on Ryusei right now, he's going to finish 8th at the moment. Overall, he's sat in 13th. If he can put the pressure on Ryusei and get a result here, it's going to give him a shot at the final 8.
Absolutely. Yeah, 100% it will. And that's where the pressure comes into play. Ryusei Yamada knows exactly what he needs to do.
Finish in the top 8 overall at the end of the championship here at Snow League, and you will automatically qualify for the next season. So, comes down to this. How many people have we seen under pressure stretch too far for tricks they didn't need? That is the temptation and the balance Ryusei Yamada needs to find now.
Coming in switch, cab, double cork 1080, absolutely massive from Ryusei Yamada into the front side double 12. Oh! That McTwist was huge.
Serving in-flight meals.
There's the front side 1440 and the switch alley-oop double backside rodeo. That's game over.
Everyone holds their breath on that double alley-oop rodeo, switch double alley-oop rodeo to finish, because there's no guarantees that you land that.
No,
absolutely none.
One of the hardest tricks to land in the pipe, spinning back up the pipe, coming around on your heel side edge as you land. As you take a look at the double 10, just going monster out of the pipe. The front side 12, if you compare that to Pat's front side 12 at the bottom, so much cleaner, so much smoother, so much bigger, the big twist. so massive in the pipe. Here you see the 1440 where he had issues on his first run, or second run, sorry. And that's where Pat was able to sneak in, but he puts that 1440 down and then adds an even more difficult trick, adds more variety with the switch double alley-oop rodeo.
He almost went through and upped it hit by hit by hit all the way through the pipe. That was one of the best runs we've seen all day today.
Yeah, that will definitely challenge Cam Melville Ives 90.
Well, you've only got Yuto, Cam, and Ryusei with that switch double alley-oop rodeo at the end there. So the judges have to reward it. Pat pointing at Ryusei. He knows which way this one's going. But I think standing ovation for Pat Burgener. He managed to put up a solid fight there against one of the hottest young talents in pipe riding. But Ryusei Yamada does take it, a 90.5. That is half a point above Cam Melville Ives, so exactly where you were at there. So let's hear from Naoka now, who's with Ryusei.
All right, what an exciting 3-run round there. Gonna ask Ryusei about his run and the thoughts going into that third one. 接戦でした。3番目のランはどうやってなんていうんですか考えましたか？
いやもう本当にとりあえず転ばないようにと思って一つ一つの技をちょっと丁寧にやりました。
So he went into it thinking, I just really don't need to fall and also want to do each trick really carefully, and so he was able to execute it in that way. おめでとうございます。
ありがとうございます。Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ryusei. Thank you, Naoka. So Ryusei Yamada, the fourth and final man to make it through to the semi-finals. He will join Jake Pates in that second matchup. Up at the top there, you've got the master and the apprentice, you could say, Yuto Totsuka, going up against the New Zealander Cam Melville Ives. Who do you fancy out of those?